Hi everybody, in this solo chicken dinner win on Vikendi, we're going to be dropping towards the southeast corner of the island, and in this video we're going to be talking about my standard operating procedures for winning solo chicken dinners in PUBG. So, first thing, as you can see, what we try and do is we drop far from the flight path to an unnamed location. On Erengel and Miramar, you'll probably need to get a vehicle first along one of the roads and then drive further away. At this location, get looted up safely, but remember, stay alert for enemies, and the kit you're looking for is a DMR and assault rifle with a 4x or a 6x, something like an SKS, an SLR, a Mini 14, an M416 barrel, or my favourite, which is the M16 set to single fire. Haha! What you I hear somebody in this one. I hear a guy in that house, so I back off, take a painkiller because I'm about to get into a gunfight, and you never know quite what might happen with my crap aim, and I wait for him to come out. So again, I'm waiting for him to make a move, not kind of exposing myself, because get arrested for that. No, because I'm not dead sure where he'll be. So he's come out of the other building, so he's gone into that one. So I'm going to back up just to see, because I'm worried that I'm going to hit the edge of the window if I fire from there. So I'm just backing up, give myself ability to hit him, but he's crouch running, so he comes out of there, and then we blat him. Shoot him in the kneecaps, is where I like to do it. And for close range, you want an assault rifle with a red dot, something like an AK, a SCAR, a barrel, or my favourite, the M416. Now, if you can get a suppressor, great, but if you can't, don't worry about it, because remember, the suppressors, they mask your location, but not completely. Remember the flight path and move towards the edge of the circle that will be the quietest. So that's the edge generally that's furthest from the flight path, that's away from named towns and areas, and probably it'll have the sea behind it, or the edge of the map behind it. As you can see here, I'm going for a supply drop. Don't always recommend this, but if you do, it's worth it for the level 3 gear that you'll get, helmet and vests, and you can get some nice quiet weapons. Just make sure that you always smoke it, because as you'll see, as soon as I start looking through this supply box and pick the bits up, someone starts firing at me, but because I've smoked, he can't actually see me. You don't need more than 120 bullets for each weapon, so 200 total if you're using the same ammo. So in this case, I've got a G36 and an M16. They both take 5.56, so that's cool. And you probably want at least 3 first aid kits, 5 bandages, 3 painkillers, 3 energy drinks, and at least 1 smoke grenade, and 1 Molotov. This guy again, he hasn't seen me. Got my favourite, the M16 with the 4x on. Waiting for him to stay still. Try and start off, if you can, with a headshot if someone is completely still, because that will do them loads of damage. And remember, only shoot at people if you're guaranteed a kill or if they pose an immediate risk, because every time you fire your weapon, you're giving your position away to enemies. And as you can see there, I went to look in his kit, I started taking fire, I have a quick look around, I don't know where the other person is, so let's get out of there straight away. And you'll see that there's someone to my left, but what I'm doing here is I'm avoiding starting a gunfight because there's somebody shooting me to start off with. And if I start firing at them, the other person would probably start firing at me. In a similar sort of vein, although you can survive quite a while in the blue, try and avoid starting gunfights in the blue, because if you start a gunfight in the blue, you'll lose track of time and you'll start taking lots of damage, especially if the other person hasn't seen you. If they haven't seen you and you don't need to start that gunfight, get safe first and then engage. As you're moving around the map, move from cover to cover, and always look behind you and to the flanks, to your left and right. Watch for people coming around the edge of the circle or coming out of the blue. Now try and move as quietly as you can. Avoid sprinting again if you can, and crouch run wherever possible. Sometimes when you want to cover open ground though, and there's fire going on, you have to sprint. I don't know what this guy does. Decides to lie down. Unusual. Yeah, anyway. But in this situation, I have to run because there was someone firing behind me. I've got open ground to my right, open ground behind me and to my left, and I just need to get to cover. Make sure you go jiggling left and right as much as you can when you're running around, or even when you're still, to avoid one-shot headshot kills. And the essence of this, of playing the edge, starting out far and coming on the quiet edge, is to stay on that edge behind cover. Now you see what I'm doing here is I'm looking for someone coming behind me out of the blue. So I'm very worried that they're going to come in, because people, as I say, people could survive for a long time. Use the top right shoulder button on your console controller if you're playing on console to be able to look around easily without changing the location of your character. See how I'm jiggling there? I'm jiggling to avoid someone one-shotting me. I'm right on the edge of the blue. See how we're right on the edge of the blue there? Be ready to use instant cover with your smokes. So get ready to drop a smoke to give yourself cover. On Erangel, Miramar and Sanhok, remember the circle will move faster than you can, so you need to move ahead of the blue depending on where you are on the circle. But on Vengit Vikendi you can walk in the circle right behind you. Now I've heard some gunfire up ahead of me. That is the way I need to go to get into the circle, so I'm going to go and find out what's going on. And it's quite a good example of using a Molotov to get someone out of cover here, because I don't kill them with the initial volley of shots. So I can hear some suppressed gunfire up the hill. I can see them. We kind of get some bullets into them. He goes behind that tree there, so he's got cover. Now he's in a ghillie suit, so he'll have a really good rifle, so I have to avoid getting into like a sniper's game with him. So we Molotov to the side of the tree. He has to move out, and that means I can then get him with fully automatic fire. So let's take a look at that again. So he's there again. I want to avoid, he could have an AWM, something that could one-shot me in the head. So I use the Molotov to get him to move, so we can get into an automatic gunfire battle rather than a sniper battle. At this point you've got to be very careful about looting people. Any further into the game, any further into the circles, I wouldn't recommend looting anybody at all. This guy has some good kit, means that I can get a suppressor for my M16, which again, although they don't completely hide your location, they do make it more difficult for people to figure out where you are. In the final circles as well, as you'll see in this one, keep your boost at full. So that means taking one painkiller and one energy drink, or one whole adrenaline syringe. Avoid lying down and going prone if you can. Now I'm doing it here because I want to pick up this kit, but the problem is you can't react quick enough if someone starts firing at you. And just remember that winning PUBG solo dinners is a numbers game. The more you play, the more chances you have to win. And if you follow these standard operating procedures, I promise you, you will get these dinners. So, we're well into the last 10 minutes. Let's see what happens. So the blue is coming in behind me. Again, we're on Vikendi, so it comes in very, very slowly. So I'm just using cover. Again, I'm very aware that people are going to be to my left and to my right, and the people love to camp inside buildings. So I'm going to go towards this building. I'm going to crouch running so I make as little noise as I can. Just going very, very slowly. Trying not to give away where I am. Keeping my boost at full now. You do that because with a full boost, you're healing faster and you can move faster. So that means if you get into a gunfight, you'll automatically be healing. Whenever you've got any boost, you're always automatically healing slowly over time. Just checking these corners, using third person perspective to have a look round. Right, 12 people left, so it's 11 and me. I think have we got 3 kills at the moment? Something like that. The blue comes in. Again, you're just looking on that mini-map for that point when the line that goes from your little yellow marker to the circle disappears and you know you're in. Now, I know I'm covered to my left here, but I'm very nervous that people can see me sort of across the river. Dropping a marker in the centre of the circle. This is something I recommend in solos. Always drop that marker in the centre of the circle so you know exactly where you've got a gun. So now I go prone so that I've got some hard cover so people won't see me. I'm pretty much hidden at this point. And all I'm doing is listening out. Listening for where people are. You know, that's why we have our headphones on, we have our volume turned up full, and you're just trying to picture in your mind, where are they? You might not be able to see them, but you know where they are. Again, keeping my boost at full. Got a long time, we've still got sort of 40 odd seconds before the circle comes in, so there's plenty of time for people to bump into each other. We're into the top 10 now, to kill each other to make my life easier in the final circles. In a minute I do see someone coming to my left from those buildings. And it's all about not making that rash move. So they... did we see that? Anyway, someone came from those buildings and dropped out going towards the bridge. So we've got about 15 seconds left now. Again, we're just going to slowly go in, making as little sound as we can, going from cover to cover. There's no rush. If you rush and start sprinting, people will hear you. Be amazed at what people cannot hear. Taking the time, stay at full boost. Peeking cover. I know that there's a guy ahead of me somewhere. I mean, there's still 10 people left somewhere in this circle. I tend to think that most of them are probably either on top of the bridge or in the town across the river on the other side. Remember, this is a frozen river, so it's not a barrier of any sort. Just taking the time to have a look round. Moving very, very quietly. The blue is right at my back, but there's no need to rush. Creeping in. Getting ready for him just in case he's round this corner here. Nope. Very, very quietly. In the blue for a little bit, but that doesn't matter. And there he is, right in front of me, right there. Lying down. So we've now got 5 kills. Blue really hurt, so let's get in. Let's take a painkiller. 8 people left, 7 people left. So now I'm really thinking, right, where are people? We're getting to the final circles now. So we're probably going to get into an end game where what I see in my head is probably someone is going to be on top of the bridge, and then someone's going to be underneath the bridge, i.e. me. And that will lead to a situation where we have to try and out-med each other, where the blue completely disappears. And I'm fairly confident that I've got loads of meds, I've got loads of boosts. But there's still 7 people left, so we've got to get to that situation. I don't know what's in front of this part of the bridge, this support for the bridge. I don't know how much cover there is, although I am just about in the circle. But I'm a little bit nervous because the circle may well come in and kind of almost trap me, where the circle will come to the edges of the support of the bridge. The big column. So I'm thinking, am I in here? I'm in. 6 people left, including myself. So now I'm thinking, right, I want to get round the edge of this. I want to have a peek, see what I can see. Right, so what can I see? 5 people left. Just using third-person perspective, just to have a look round the edge. And look, I see there's the curved bit of the support for the bridge. So now I can just plonk myself behind here. We see the guy running from the left to the right to get behind the boat. He hasn't seen me. I know I'm well in the circle. I can just sit here. Just keeping an eye on him. 4 people left, including me. So there's the guy behind the boat. I think there's someone upstairs on the bridge. So where are the other 2 people? Again, it's about not giving away my position. I'm in a strong position. I'm in the circle. Just wait for them to give away their positions. The blue comes in. There he is. Right, get my gun out. About to blat him, but he goes behind cover again. So he has a gunfight, I think, with somebody else and kills them. So it's 3. So it's me versus that guy, or whoever killed him, and then one other person who I think is probably on top of the bridge. That would be the play. Staying at full boost. Got the G36C ready. Just looking, not making any movements. Right, so this is the final circle now. This is where the circle will disappear. So now I'm thinking, right, I just need to kill this guy. And then it's probably going to be a health standoff with the guy who's probably on top of the bridge. That's probably what's going to happen at this point. I'm fairly confident because I know he hasn't seen me. He pops out at this point. Let's get the M16 out. We kill him. So now what I think, great, I've just got to boost up. The other guy's going to be on top of the bridge. He's not going to risk jumping down. So let's just chill out and let's get ready to apply first aid. So let's take a quick painkiller. And lo and behold, what happens right in front of me? He's in the water all the time. Managed to take him out. That's where the level 3 vest comes into its own. And there we go, chicken dinner. Hope this standard operation procedures have helped, these SOPs. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down below. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the time, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.